card just sets up nicely with the Jin to kind of potentially set up for those routes and everything.
It's also super nice into the anyone that wants to run at you. Bard is great if someone could only run forward at you to get the engages off. For a flash over the wall here. Shanks in enemy territory, 3 members around him. Driver has to back away from Hope and Kyle. The Drake goes over to AL towards that bottom side. Flandre is able to get up here, can teleport back down because he didn't use his teleport to get to bot. Really nice map movements all around from AL.
And this is what I'm saying, where you don't fight around the objective, you fight in the... Oh, nice ulti.
Bullet time! It's gorgeous! Kaiwing looking at the stun, but doesn't chase any further onto Hope. Hope holds onto his flash through all of that.
Good damage. No flash burn, though. The response ulti now from Hope.
It's a wave clove ulti more than anything else. No encore going to be fine for him. As Flandre trading with Ginger down towards this bottom side. Kyle on the chase as well. It's a 3v2 right now in favor of CFO. Cosmic Binder coming out. Kaiwing still only level 5. Lands the knock-up explosive cast as well, but there's the flash and the smash into the wall, and Kaiwing is mown down by anyone's legend. On the Drake, that's pretty much gone. They might look for the fight afterwards though, as Flandre has the flank. Ginger's going to land the smite. There's the tempered fate coming out onto Ginger. Kaiwing trying to get his way away. Ginger still stunned up. Keeper's verdict finds Hongyu guilty, and the chase continues. Ginger with the crescent guard keeps himself alive for a hell of a long time. In the end, he's murdered by Hope 2-0 AL.
So you'll notice Hongyu sitting on the top wave, catching that wave, but now he can look to regroup with his team. Doggo
going for Doggo, who has the flash, dodges the deadly flourish, flash forward from Kaiwing. He knocks Tarzan back, and he has to flash away. Weaver's wall coming out from Hongyu, immediately exhausted. The bullet time opens up, but doesn't find much purchase. And in the end, CFO should be able to retreat. Lose about half of all their health bars. Curtain Call coming out. Driver with the explosive cast knocks back Shanks! And Shanks, even with the Emperor's Divide, can't survive! Ginger with a knocker with Q3. Flandre going to turn it back around on him. And Ginger will fall. CFO still trying to find a purchase on this fight. Hope takes a double up and is able to walk away. An explosion of gold for them.
I think AL is going to benefit a lot more from this. It becomes a question of if CFO can convert the Dragon into a bot tier 1 as well. The bot tower has taken a decent amount of damage. This Herald is very slow, so while initially I thought AL had a pretty big tempo advantage, there should be a pretty good window here for CFO to set their sights on the bot lane, and I love that they're doing this. Doggo and Ginger. Flandre, he's overstayed his welcome. He needs to get away from this tower, has the Maiden.
Puts it down, only a couple of minions here to really defend. Driver looking for the knockback, but Flandre flashes away the bullet time. Ginger dashing forward, dodge this, says Doggo. Ginger picks up the kill in the end, but meanwhile Rift Herald has been summoned in the mid lane as AL continue their advances. Kaiwing gets the knockback, tempered fate, Keeper's verdict. You're all alone now, Hongyu, as Tarzan looks for the knock into the wall but can't find it. Cosmic Binding will still land but doesn't get the stun. There's the smash, there's Hope. Hongyu flashes, but a soldier finds his back as AL get 2 in the mid lane. Mid lane is the weakness with that Rylai's and Nash's Tooth already complete, but CFO, I was wondering if they want to take this fight around this objective. Flandre does have teleport, and he's going to try and flank them as he TP's in. The Dragon down to 7,000 HP. Hongyu looking for that flank position. Flandre comes in. There's the Weaver's Wall to separate the team. Driver on the wrong side of it, as is Kaiwing. CFO, where are your attentions? Currently split between the Drake and between the fight. Bullet time opens up only onto Kyle. Driver forcing Shanks up towards the top side. Ginger's going to land the smite onto the Mounted Drake. It's sole point now for CFO, but can they get the hell out of the fight? Flandre force load. The Curtain Call coming out as well. Here's Kaiwing into the deadly flourish for the root, and now CFO are all on the retreat. The river runs red with Kaiwing's blood, and Flandre wants to add more of CFO to it. Hope still on the chase. Doggo able to walk away for now, dodges the deadly flourish. AL might just have to accept 1 kill in the Otacon.
We're seeing how spread out these fights are because of all the disengaged tools, but CFO get themselves to Soul Point. They still want to contest this. Tarzan.
Tarzan in, there's the deadly flourish follow-up, and Shanks slides in. Meet my bodyguards. Tarzan falls though. Ginger able to flash away. Kyle looking for the flank, doesn't get the auto off, and Doggo's found 2. Hope just short of the seismic shove. Shanks and Flandre need to back up their bot lane. Hope reloading, gets the 4th shot off, but he doesn't have the damage, and Otacon is helping CFO. His allegiances changed in the middle of the fight. Shanks trying to dodge around, there's no vision in that bush. Flandre finds another, no mana left on him. Doggo with the red buff gets the slow onto Flandre, but isn't going to be able to chase any further. Kaiwing's back alive.
Good start to the fight, chipping away with what you can.
So Driver's going to be the one to face check. Kyle there, knocked up, has them. Magical journey to get himself out. Driver locked up in the dark possession. Tempered Fate on 4. The keeper's verdict charged up and will knock out 2. Driver dives in, but the rest of his team are nowhere near him. Driver will fall after the stopwatch, and now CFO in a 4v5. Seismic shove just short on Tarzan. Do you keep fighting this, CFO? It's only our second Drake of the game. You can set up around the Atakan to try and distract them a little bit while they go for the Dragon.
Just want purchase into the river, and they're going to get it. Honq already used his ultimate, but Doggo's ulti is still available. Ginger, he has prime access to this Dragon, but AL are not hitting it, or at the very least they're hitting it slowly.
Flandre looking for that flank, trying to gain control of the tri-bush. Doggo standing behind the wall, just a little bit out of vision as Flandre puts the ghouls down, curtains open, and Kaiwing and Honq have to retreat. Honq just dodges the 4th shot, bullet time, not enough, good smite. Coming out there for AL. They'll turn their eyes now towards the Atakan, but you got to wait a little bit.
In order to get close, ready for the engage. And even if they do, there's so many disengage tools on the side of AL, but it's the same the other way around. AL don't have the most reliable engage. They do have, of course, the Bard ultimate to create some, as a way to start a fight, or even to just gain some space.
Do this entirely alone, does not need assistance from the Jhin. Hope is going to come across, but there's no vision at all for CFO on this bot side. So the question is, do they realize, do they pull the trigger? Because AL at the moment have 4 petals, and that is going to start to explode as they secure the Atakan.
I feel like they have to recognize that this is gone. There's too much missing on the map, and they just weren't in a position to contest. There's a world, of course, where they could try and force the Baron. Cooldown is coming up pretty quickly. Going to be unavailable, of course, as the Dragon is now alive. Tarzan forced to flash. Could summon a burn. Driver very isolated, though.
Shanks goes in, flash away from Driver, dodges the Emperor's Divide. So that's 2 flashes and an ultimate down now for AL, and CFO see their window. They'll start up the Drake, knock back Tarzan. Gets the knockup, but it's only onto Kaiwing. Weaver's Wall will separate the fight out a little bit. Doggo and Ginger waiting for Honq to back them up. Shanks trying to put the damage in from the side. Kyle forced away. Kaiwing on that front line as he tries to get through the pit. Ginger in there, but it's secured by Kyle, who may have switched to smite. Ginger's gonna have to get the hell out. The curtain's open. Ginger's already down. The side shove across the wall into the bullet time isn't enough to kill off Shanks. Kaiwing will fall in the end. And somehow AL win out the fight in the river. Honq slammed into the wall and massacred by anyone's legend. Doggo follows suit. In the end, a double for Hope and a 5-for-1 exchange.
I think that may very well just be game. The death timers are very long. AL see the Nexus in their eyes. There's no one standing in their way, and they're looking to close out game 1.
For so long, it seemed like CFO could get back into the game. AL had this lead, and then in one explosive fight, they just rip any control of the game away from the LCP #1 seeds. It's 1-0 AL.
Like, their composition is relatively short-ranged. Both Ryze and Lucian have both a strength and a weakness in that once they close the gap, they can do a lot of damage, but they do have to get close to their opponents. All right, well, let's jump into game 2, see how things pan out. Medic and I are going to do our best to... Oh, hang on.
Oh, Kyle is ignited. He's trying to dodge, misses, but the hook from Kaiwing goes wide. He still gets the kill. Honq now down to 0 HP as Hope will take that kill. They're going to chase Kaiwing away, who doesn't have flash and doesn't have ignite and doesn't have a leg to stand on. AL find 2 in an incredible early exchange. So can escape Honq, who used his flash in that level 1, but Honq showing the power of the Gatling gun in the lane there, especially with Ryze having relatively short range. You can just Gattle him down. Shanks looking for the overload, and he'll find it! And we just see Honq pushing up daisies. Just as I'm praising him, Shanks puts him in his place.
Shanks, though, he's not done.
Honq having the Valkyrie means that he can get to safety, but it's a tool used that allows Tarzan just a little bit more safety around the Drake. Second time in 2 games, we've seen AL get the first Dragon of the game. In game 1, though, CFO were able to strike back pretty effectively. A Grubs fight with the expectation that Honq teleports down towards that bot side as the waves go in later.
Doggo sacrificed a lot there. TP now going to come through from Flandre. The grubs started off. It's hard for Tarzan though, he's quite far away.
Flandre goes in with the Justice Punch, doesn't land the taunt. Kyle has the Pop Blossom level 6 and the Flash. Honkyu's going to try and chunk him out with a Gatling gun. Smite already used by Ginger, will be back up in a couple of seconds time. Tarzan could just step in here and steal away one of these grubs, but he's looking for a flank of his own. Ginger gets the second Smite off. I wonder if CFO will just disengage. Doggo culled down to 300 HP. CFO should retreat from this. The Realm Warp coming out as well. We'll bring Tarzan onto the backline. There's the Cyclone Pop Blossom, and it's a Venn diagram of death here for CFO. AL find 2 as they sweep away the LCP.
Ultimate just makes it so easy. It's a delivery system. And this package arrived right on time. The Galley ultimate, quick to follow. The knockup comes through, the follow-up is there.
Minutes or so, he's got the Krugs as well. CFO posturing around the Drake. I don't think it's the best idea. Hook is going to hit onto Kyle.
It's too slow.
There.
They're not there.
Ginger going in with the smite. It's secured by Tarzan. Hero's Entrance coming out as well. Calling onto Honkyu. Realm Warp there for the follow-up. Kyle trying to get in with the Pop Blossom. Ginger there first. Target up towards the top side. Honkyu will fall first. Kaiwing next as Hope flashes forward for the kill. Ginger follows suit. It's a massacre. AL pick up 3 more. Their third neutral objective.
I think CFO might still try and contest this, Medic.
Okay, the killer instinct from Doggo. He's a long way away right now, can jump in. Ginger trying to posture around it as Kyle locks him up. Kyle down to half HP, does still have that Pop Blossom taunt coming out. It's going to land, but only onto the Nautilus. There's a culling follow-up, death charge, Pop Blossom! And Nautilus is the one who just goes pop. Hero's Entrance comes in for the Magic Shield on Kyle. Cyclone for the chase on Ginger. Shanks is going to Realm Warp behind them, and Ginger taunted up and taken out of the fight. They'll get one in response. Tarzan has fallen, but the objective and the win in the fight goes over to AL once again.
CFO are desperate to get something back, but I feel like this is not the way you do it.
Point in their sights. CFO could look for the fight again, but they don't have the ultimates really for it. Might just be Ginger riding through the wall to try and get the steal. Doesn't even go for it. AL, 1 Drake away from Seoul, 18.5 minutes in.
Vision control, jungle support working together, Shanks split pushing. Again, we said it in game 1, we're seeing it again in game 2. They smother you with their pressure. And they do it so elegantly as well, because Shanks, level 16, hovering in the tri-brush, has the ulti to create a flank. The Dragon started off.
Ginger's going to step forward, immediately jumps onto Shanks. Ooh. The depth coming out as well with the 6 arm guns enough. Kyle, the first to fall in the fight, but meanwhile on the back line, Tarzan begins to rip through CFO. Doggo trying to get away as Kaiwing looks for the hook, but can't land it on Shanks or Hope. Meanwhile, Driver falls to Flandre, and now it's all on the bot lane for CFO. Doggo, no killer instinct, no flash, just has the cleanse, and CFO won't take the fight any further. AL secure the soul, win the fight, a 6,500 gold lead as Doggo escapes, but Kaiwing does not. It will be a 4-for-1, a soul for AL, and you have to feel the Artican alongside it.
The ultimate's going to be used to quickly rotate towards the Artican. The bot tower is available for them if they want it as well. Says for Tarzan onto the backline. He does so much damage on the Wukong. Doggo tries to respond with a dive of his own, but he just can't match the damage. He can't match the threat. AL not going to waste any time. Start that objective off. Let's see if CFO can find a miracle fight.
Force a response out of CFO.
Doggo
Teleport
so
available. The driver on this Rumble, Doggo a mile away, but always has the killer instinct to jump into a fight. There's a TP out from the Rumble. Hero's Entrance available for Flandre as well, as they dive onto Ginger immediately. A 3-man impale, though it's huge! As Doggo begins to turn the fight around, all on the back of Ginger. The killer instinct forward, Hope is extinguished! CFO! From nothing, find it all! An ace in the Baron as well!
That is the miracle that they needed! Flandre can't do anything. And CFO get a 5-for-0 team fight with the Baron secured as well.
That allowed them to beat CFO if the fight wasn't entirely in their favor. Now CFO begin to turn things into their advantage. And for AL, first time in this game since 30 seconds in that they have been on the back foot.
That was 8k gold to 1. That is a 9k gold swing? 8k? Is that 9k, right?
Sally probably said the game was over.
Oh, right. Classic.
It's AL who have to walk in. Reminder, they have that Ocean Soul though, so they are going to be able to stain up through fights. Elder begun now by CFO. AL walk into the darkness. The Elder getting shredded immediately, down to 6,000 HP. AL might not even get in range. Tarzan's going to have to decoy in. The hero's entrance coming out, but there's the Elder, and Tarzan is already down. Kyle popping a heal just to escape the clutches of CFO, but Shanks does not have that same luxury. Slammed into the wall by Ginger. He can stop time for a second, but he's going to be sent to a timeout back to the fountain as Ginger takes him down.
Elder secured, 2 kills secured. CFO now set their sights on the base of AL with one of the craziest comebacks that we've seen at MSI. CFO is looking to equalize this series right here, right now.
And for Flandre, Hope, and Kyle, you are reeling from this last sequence. Just got to try and defend your base. It looks like CFO might not go for the full push. Ginger's not with them right now, but the rest of the team are posturing forward. They're going to take down this inhibitor. Another wave coming in on its way. They're taking their time with it, clearing out the waves coming out of the AL base. Tarzan up in 2 seconds' time. We'll have that Cyclone and a flash. Here's Ginger to join up with CFO. Tarzan goes in with the Cyclone immediately onto Doggo, who cleanses the way, but Hope flashes forward and gets the kill. And now the rest of CFO are on the retreat. Careful because of that Elder buff still remaining on CFO. They'll retreat as 4. Tarzan trying to get in here. Realm Warp up in 6 seconds. Dredge line, depth charge, not enough. No follow-up damage onto Shanks. The Ocean Soul as well, helping them out as Driver goes in with the Flame Spitter, but they just don't have the damage! Phosphorus Bomb finds its mark, a double impale as well. The Torn Kyle goes in with a Wall Blossom, and they'll get one in response. But now it's all on Hope. It rests on his shoulders. He opens up onto Ginger, who flashes away. CFO out with 3 right now. Flandre, Justice Punch forward. Hope dashing in as well. Ginger will fall. Hongkyu has the GA. Is it enough? Hope trying to heal up with that Ocean Soul. And it's a 1v1 between the mid and the bot. The Gatling gun, Valkyrie forward! Hongkyu finds the double.
Chase down CFO. Only now will the Elder wear off, but another Baron is going to be secured for CFO. The gold lead now monstrous. Tarzan trying to get in range, but it will be too little, too late. The second Baron goes to CFO. My goodness, what felt.
It's just incredibly accelerated in this game. Doggo as well has got a Seeker's Arm Guard and is going up towards a Void Staff on this Kai'Sa, giving them just that little bit more magic damage. With the follow-up from Flandre, could be devastating for CFO. Ginger, though, with these impales, has been absolutely on the mark. They step forward, Kaiwin hooks, but only onto the wall. Depth charge, Pop Blossom, Hero's entrance! And once again, it's the wombo combo, Kaiwin already down. Doggo Hongkyu have to retreat as Ginger's locked up as well. Driver's dead, the Realm Warp forward as AL look for more. Kyle on the flank, the Tangle Barbs onto Ginger.
Health slowly being regenerated for Shanks. Ginger with good position in the river. You can feel the tension between these two teams. Elder going to be started off this time around. CFO not playing with the same speed that they were when they last had the Baron. They've got to be cautious about the angles with which AL try to attack from. They've set their sights on the Flandre.
They land the dredge line, but look at Tarzan across the wall. Goes in with a Cyclone and forces them off his top laner. Kaiwing down to half HP. Tarzan re-engages another Cyclone. The hero's entrance not going to land. The Realm Warp looking at that back line is going to be onto Kaiwing. Hongkyu forced low as Ginger takes the brunt of it. The flash is away from CFO. Realm Warp not taken. Equalizes to turn it around, but with Ginger at a 3rd HP, and the Ocean Soul sitting on AL, it's going to be tricky. You need to heal him back up. There's Krugs and there's Razorbeaks. If you can quickly hit them, he'll regen some of that health. The Elder now the target for AL. No vision in the pit for CFO. The control ward negates the vision that ward would give them, and there's the Elder. AL secure it. CFO immediately back away. This is an objective that you just have to give up. Can't fight into Soul Elder, even around the Baron. AL will secure it pretty easily. No real contest coming out from CFO. They just want those waves as far away from their base as possible. We're going to have a crossover of about a minute between the Elder and the Baron buff.
They'll likely lose an inhibitor. But once the Elder is gone, then CFO can probably look for a fight. The wave clear is going to come through.
Are on the way, but the Baron up minions don't take too much damage. Doggo trying to clear it out. AL will play for the mid lane in him, and they'll secure it. CFO wisely backing away. No wave here on the top side, but that tower is down to a 3rd, and AL might just think they can tank it up. They start to do so. Takes a chunk, but it takes a while. Tarzan down to half HP himself, but in the end, AL will secure the inhib tower. Elder about to expire. There it goes. It's off CFO still. Backed away and gave up double inhibs.
AL, they're not going to slow down with the pressure though. They're continuing with the push. Junja is incredibly tanky. He's not tanky enough to stop the minions from doing that damage. For now, the Nexus towers stay strong. No objectives on the map really, so AL have to keep the pressure going.
One of the weaknesses here for AL is that short range that we talked about all the way back in draft. How can Hope get close enough without the rapid fire cannon? Impale going in, there's a Pop Blossom as Kyle finds 3. Junja forced low, and he'll fall as we look for the engagement towards the backline from Doggo. Doesn't go in with the Killer Instinct, holds it for the moment. The depth charge used alongside that equalizer. The wave now pushing in, there's Tarzan, a hero's entrance. The GA on Tarzan's shoulders will bring him back to life. Both the Nexus towers are down as Kyle begins to open up on the Nexus. CFO trying to defend, but they just can't do it in the face of anyone's legend. 2-0 now on match point. Procs off, but Gwen obviously later on can just take over side lanes.
Yeah, it's much more of a lane bully in favor of the Gnar.
Onto an Annie or a Lee Sin gank, onto an Orianna.
Flandres here.
Kyle has a flank position. Junja still on that dragon. Tarzan looking for the steal. Flandre is going to join in. Honky coming in from the side. Doesn't have that shockwave, but does have enough pressure to force Flandre and Tarzan out. Kyle looks for the Shadowing Strike. There's the crash down as well. Junja's going to land the smite. Hits level 6 off it. Could look for the Subjugate. Flashes away from the Sonic Wave. Flandre with the needle works. Only goes into the Unbreakable as Doggo begins to open up on Kyle and Hope. Good Shadowing Strike is cleansed away by Doggo, but Kyle has to flash himself. Doggo with the lethal tempo gets first blood. Hope flashes away, but is hit by the Winter's Bite beforehand. I don't think he's going to escape this. Another auto attack would be enough. There's another Winter's Bite. And Honkyu will be gifted the kill. Good play caller back from Hope. Honkyu gets on the board.
CFO off to a fantastic start.
To walk up and join up with the rest of his team. Great stuff by CFO. Anyone's legend, though, will be able to pick up the grubs for themselves off their reset timings. It's Shanks matching up into rest on that top lane. Hope and Kyle coming across just to make sure these grubs are securable. AL have got the first 2, and without Junja in range, you have to think it will be 3. Good disintegrate there onto rest. He was looking for the Gnar back because Junja was waiting just around the corner. That is as good as gone for CFO. A couple of pings coming out on it. Kyle did challenge the last Drake when perhaps he shouldn't have, and there's the teleport behind immediately. Corrected. AL looking for it. Kyle and Hope putting some damage into Kai Wing. Shanks on the flank is a double TP. They're investing all of it into this fight. Rest only half Mega Gnar bar. Kyle going in with the Magnet Storm only onto Kai Wing. The Sonic Wave back. There's the Shockwave as well. Junja down to half HP. Hope begins to open up. Rest though jumps back in, looking for that Gnar. Gets Shanks against the wall. Junja survives, and Shanks will fall. AL, they force the fight and they lose out heavily. Kai Wing coming in towards that Tribush. AL had a little bit of vision up towards the top side, but they're going to lose it. Doggo, Shadowing Strike, Tarzan jumping in as well with that Sonic Wave. Looks for the Dragon's Rage, but Doggo jumps away. Dragon's Rage kick back, exhaust going down, and the TP coming in from the Orianna as she looks to join the fight. The Rift Herald will reset. Honkyu here now. Does have that Shockwave, but will AL still take this fight on? You've got Magnet Storm, you've got no flash on Kyle. There's no vision behind the pit if you can find a flank position, but Tarzan's low doesn't have his Dragon's Rage.
Both mid laners have their ultis available. You can see that Shanks is in a position looking for it. Flandre goes over the wall.
It's into the back of the pit. Tarzan looking for the Sonic Wave. It's Junja who secures it. There's the Tibbers. The Magnet Storm follow up, but the Shockwave will pull Kyle back. He's stunned up with the concussive blows. He manages to survive. Honkyu chasing him down and will get the Clockwork wind up. Meanwhile, in the back of the pit, Junja is going to fall. Rest looking for that Mega Gnar. Honkyu is on the wrong side of this wall, but does still have a flash. And that Gnar's now Mega. Doggo putting some damage in with those Mystic shots. And in the end, the Rift Herald secured by CFO. Control ward. AL trying to gain some purchase on the river right now, but Rest is still in the top lane, building up that Mega Gnar bar. It's about to go Mega as we see the catch onto Kai Wing. Even with the Tibbers, it takes them an absolute age to kill him. The follow-up from Tarzan, though, onto Doggo is good, forcing him to Arcane Shift away. Rest isn't TPing into the fight, and that might be AL managing to get themselves on the board in terms of Dragons.
I have to question the decision-making there from Kai Wing. Face checking into a brush when the rest of your team just isn't in the river. Honkyu now isolated.
Doesn't have flash here as well. Shockwave just about to come off cooldown, but it's not going to be enough to survive. And AL will take the neutral, and they'll take 2 kills.
CFO trying to respond by dropping the Herald in mid. They've got the top tower. They're looking to get another one.
Rift Herald charging in will give them that tier 1 in the mid lane. In fact, they're going to take it and then charge in for the tier 2. Kai Wing caught a little bit by Tarzan, but a couple of procs on the concussive blows forces Tarzan to be a bit more cautious. Rest still pushing in top. It's going to be matched by Shanks. Rest with a good jump, and they switch places. It's a merry-go-round here as Rest looks for another wallop. Flandre caught out a little bit by GENG down towards this bottom side. Doesn't have the flash, is only running Ghost. Rest escapes, and Flandre now needs to be careful, but I don't think he'll escape the clutches of CFO. Kaiwing tanks a couple of tower shots as well to make sure they take their third tower of the game. 2 Drakes to 0. They managed to pick up the feats as Hongkyu will just stop Kaio's back here. Shockwave bringing him back. Kaiwing will look for the Winter's Bite. Kaio remounts to try and get a bit of extra movement speed. Will land the Shadowing Strike, and now Hongkyu's out of position, and we talked about it. You can't be 2v3. Hongkyu trying to escape, but Tarzan's going to chase him down. Flandre has the flank position here as Rest TP'd in. Flandre needs to get out because the rest of CFO are going to collapse. Snip, snip, they go. The needle works. It's 2 for anyone's legend. And just like that, the game swings the pendulum in favor of AL. Doggo across the wall lands a Mystic Shot, but doesn't hit with the Essence Flux. True Shot Barrage not available to him. Tibbers here to tank the Otacon a little bit. Will chase off Doggo. AL, they're doing it safely. GENG can still look for the steal. Doesn't have the flash, but has the smite. Can step forward here. Hallowed Mist out from the Gwen as they look for the Otacon. GENG's in there and he steals it away. Better Storm comes out, but Doggo finds 1, finds 2 with the True Shot Barrage. It's a triple. It's a quadra, and Doggo is barking.
Finds an angle. GENG finds the steal. And while CFO was getting caught, they were making mistakes. It felt like they were giving the game over to AL.
Time, miserable time in the LPL. Now showing up for the LCP. Dragon's Rage kick back onto Rest here. Doesn't have the flash. Has no chance of surviving. AL once again will punish a bit of over-eagerness from the CFO top laner.
The top side jungle. Now again, I will say, positioning-wise, AL not in a good position to contest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're giving this one.
They're really good vision control. They've invested their vision on the top side. They have the push-up here as well.
The adaptive force it's given you, and you can see AL, for once, go along with our expectations. They back away, they'll get some vision towards the red side jungle of CFO, who put themselves on Soul Point with that Mountain Dragon. Shanks on his way towards his Leandries as well, with the Malignance and the Bloodletter's Curse complete. Doggo, Arcane shifting across the wall. Hits the Mystic Shot, oh my god! Hits another! Hits another! Hope has the Featherstorm and has to pop it just to survive! But down you come and down you go! Doggo finds the kill, and now, with the Shockwave, Tarzan has to flash away. TP behind by AL as they look for a flank position. Here's Teleport. But will AL look for this? Tarzan hits the Sonic Wave onto Hongkyu, gets vision of the Baron, jumps away. And now he has to kick back GENG. Kyle up towards the top side, trying to keep Rest busy because Tarzan is falling low towards the bottom. Doggo surviving, Arcane shifts across the wall, the exhaust coming out, a good double stump from Shanks. Meanwhile on the top side, Flandre and Rest are fighting for their lives. Doggo with a True Shot Barrage will kill off Shanks. And CFO once again find 2, AL find nothing.
Carrying so many fights, making amazing plays. And he's looking to keep CFO alive at MSI. As the Baron is secured.
And CFO still very healthy. GENG sitting on the Drake right now. Sonic Wave from Tarzan goes between the uprights. Kaiwing on the front line. Glacial Fisher going wide. GENG still on the Drake. 6,000 HP. Down to 5 now as Tarzan tries to get into the pit. True Shot Barrage just behind him. Tarzan still finding a way to get in here. Sonic Wave hits, but it's too little, too late. Soul secured in the priceless moment of the game for CFO.
Great patience from CFO, just leveraging their range, their zone control, their poke. GENG, he's not afraid of anything.
Good pillar from GENG. They turn around onto him with the Magnet Storm, and with the Tibbers, they'll get the kill. Tarzan looking for a flank here, has that Dragon's Rage.
Not really melting anyone. Sure, Honkyu's getting a little bit low, but now that the burst is gone, Shockwave connects, chunking out Shanks.
He will survive. Next wave, a little way. There's the TP. Flandre going in. AL have called their moment for the fight. Shanks is going to recall and then TP back in. Counter TP coming out from Rest as Flandre puts the needles through Hongkyu, but just doesn't have the damage. Backs away, counter TP there from Shanks, but now he's all on his lonesome. Tarzan going in, there's the stun. Tarzan dashes back with the Iron Will trying to survive. Getting to Kai out, but he can't do it. True Shot Barrage out as Doggo and Hongkyu will secure that kill. GENG follows up with another one. Rest chasing Shanks down towards the bottom side. He's got a stun lined up, but Rest is just trying to keep AL from defending their tower. Doggo dashing forward. Flandre trying to snip through him. The Blades come back with the Feather Storm, and Doggo still survives. Flandre and Hope do not have that same luxury. Shanks will join his team in the afterlife as these Oysters are flying high.
It's a 5-0 ace. CFO set their sights on the Nexus, and they're looking to keep their hopes alive here at MSI.
CFO proving the comeback in Game 2 was not a blip as they get one game and start to come back in this series.
Actually, Spell Shield's so good into this comp, isn't it? Like, you can Spell Shield Zap, you can Spell Shield the traps from Jinx, you can Spell Shield the hook, you can Spell Shield
Grasp.
Silas, the Maokai ultimate, and Shock Blast. So
You can actually Spell Shield every ability in the game, buddy.
looking very realistic right now. Doggo doesn't have much mana, but the Maokai's on the top side of the map.
Ginger spotted on vision.
Here we go.
Tarzan a mile away. Kaiwing looking for that hook. Ginger steps forward. Hook's going to land onto Kyle. He's pulled back. Played. And first blood goes to CFO. Tarzan looking for the flank here onto Honkyu in the mid lane. Kaiwing surviving towards the bottom side. Hope electing not to go any further as they get the twisted advance in the mid lane onto Honkyu. Shanks looking for the damage but doesn't have a huge amount of mana. The twofold hex might be enough from Honkyu here. He flashes over the wall and the void sparrow splash against the auto down. The sapling will send him to his grave, but in a 2v1 he finds the kill. Tarzan knocked up by Ginger. No red buff on him though, so I don't think he's going to chase any further.
Into the mid lane from the Blitzcrank as Kaiwing sets his sights on bot.
Flandre needs to be careful here because there's the lantern, there's the play. Flandre, he was looking for the prediction flag on the death sentence, but it's still enough. Kaiwing will take the kill. CFO will claim the feat of strength or the feat of warfare.
Advantage. Mid also with an advantage. Grubs being started off by Tarzan. He's no stranger to this objective. Smite's going to come through, and I imagine he's just going to back away.
And he gets one of them. Might look for a second as well. The lantern down. Ginger will get a smite of his own.
Okay.
Getting the second, obviously taking away that objective for the feats is quite nice. Honky was low mana in the mid lane as well.
But also Doggo had just backed, and they knew that Hope was making his way back out to the map, so if they forced that fight, they were guaranteed to be at a numbers disadvantage. They wisely disengage away to the bot lane. And CFO should get this one uncontested, as we know Tarzan's on the top side of the map, but also a bunch of resets have just come through from AL.
And a bunch of question mark pings coming out towards that top tower as well from CFO. I'm not quite sure he's going to be really squishy. Will do a bunch of damage, but it'll be a little bit hard for him as Doggo is the one caught out, and he puts the spell shield, but still caught by the flame chompers. There's the shutdown for Hope, and he evens out that gold in the AD carry position.
Much needed gold injection for Hope, and the combo was clean. The traps come down, and as you identified, Medic, the spell shield was on the knock-up of Kyle. So when he takes the lantern to safety, he actually gets dragged through the traps and locked up. The flash follow-through comes from Tarzan. Big damage onto Shanks.
Shanks steals away the ultimate here, looking for the chase. Ginger in with the Cataclysm, and now Kyle's underneath that tower. Shanks tanking it as well, he'll fall. It's 2-0 so far as CFO try and continue to turn this fight around. The dive, disastrous! Hope almost falls, but he has the barrier just in time to survive through Honkyu's burst.
Doggo thinking he can get a great trade onto Hope. Gets locked at hit. The spell shield's the knock up, but then gets dragged through the trap.
One ward just over here, which gives Kyle an opportunity to find a hook. He'll step forward, clears out the vision, rest coming across. Is that Rift Herald still pretty healthy? 6,000 now. Kyle still looking for that hook. There's the Nature's Grasp coming out from Tarzan as AL wants to take the fight. A couple of roots going down, but between worlds goes the Aurora. Rest able to dodge away. The lantern there as well for him. Shanks steals the Cataclysm. Riptail secured by CFO. A counter Cataclysm onto Tarzan. Not really the target you want. Doggo untouched so far. Almost eats a zap as Shanks dives back in. Flashes over the flag and drags Hope. Flashes forward as well as CFO have managed to get 4 members out. Ginger almost takes down Hope, but gives the bounty across. And CFO will manage to get out with 4 players alive.
My goodness, those health bars got very low on both sides.
Here to answer on the top side. AL will get their first tower of the game, but CFO have already secured a turret of their own and have those feats of strength complete.
Right now we can't find one. The base is coming through from Tarzan, so it looks like they're just going to concede this. Tower secured as well. A gamble as the Jinx rocket comes through to try and steal, but it's not going to convert into much.
It would have been the most adventurous contest I've ever seen if AL decided to fight around that one. Honkyu, it was tentative at best. Like maybe I get a flash out, maybe I get a spell out of Honkyu. The bot lane tower is really the focus for both these teams right now. CFO will keep this Asukan aggroed, at least for the time being, as AL begin to collapse here, Betty.
Bot tower finally secured. Hey, Shanks with the level 10 on the Rod of Ages, now closing the experience gap. TP in mid lane is super dangerous.
It's rest. He should be okay. As Shanks jumps in, and he's not okay at all. Has to flash across the wall. Shanks gonna dive forward, and the Super Mega Death Rocket hits its man. I thought Cassante would be tankier as Shanks flashes in and looks for another. He'll get the double. CFO trying to react to anyone's legend, but they just weren't quick enough.
Kyle gonna sidestep the poke from Honkyu. Will not connect with the ult, and Honkyu throwing out the ulti himself will do very little damage. Artican cannot be contested. And AL with a beautiful punish onto CFO. CFO, as you rightly highlighted, Medic, had just committed one too many members to the bot side of the map.
We'll take the tier 2. That's what Flandre's starting to do right now, while the rest of AL will try to collapse. Shanks off vision on the control ward. As there's the Nature's Grasp eaten up. Kaiwing Mikhails himself, but the hook still lands, and the Fame Trumpets is down. Honkyu trying to dive in. Shanks on the backline immediately, and Hope is on a killing spree. He finds one. Looking at Junja now as Doggo can't survive through Shanks. Rest goes all out, but Shanks goes golden as AL sends CFO to the morgue.
A flawless team fight from AL as they execute perfectly. Focusing down Kaiwing, making it a front to back, and drawing their attention away from Shanks on the flank. They take out 4, only Junja is left, and maybe, just maybe, he can find a steal. But AL are looking to secure the Baron here in Game 4.
The Edge, an LDR, and a Kraken Slayer.
Yeah.
You want Hope to be on your side.
It's true.
And right now, he and Shanks have bounced back beautifully. The early game was very rough, but Hope hasn't died yet this game. Tarzan in a similar position, and with the Baron buff, they'll now start getting closer to the base of CFO. They'll need to turtle. They have a great champion for it. Hook connects.
Another hook onto Rest. Tries to Pathmaker out, but the Flame Chompers will stop his retreat. Flandre now gets the kill. And Rest is sent to the afterlife. For AL, they can just continue to push in, and this is the defensive positioning against a Blitzcrank is so darn hard, because again, he looks for the hook. Honkyu has to use the ultimate to buffer out of it. And now he's caught up in Shanks' Cataclysm, who continues to chase forward. The Nature's Grasp coming out, Junja the one locked up. The Lantern from Kaiwing won't be taken by anyone as AL force CFO away from their inhibitor. Shanks dives in once again with the Abscond Abduct, and Junja is just trying to get away, but he's slain. A King Slayer to take down Junja. And AL will take the mid inhib, will take the top inhib as they TP in and look for the end.
AL is looking to close things out. It was a hard-fought series. They were pushed to their limit. But AL see the Nexus.
Shanks dives in, goes between worlds. The Nexus towers fall. And CFO can only watch as AL rip them to shreds. The Oysters are shocked. The Pandas are eating good. AL claim the series 3-1.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.